Hello friends! Today we'll talk about a sad topic. Grades in school and in university are the big reason why students are not motivated to learn or to study. And now you might think, why? That doesn't make sense. Because students and university students, they make a lot of effort to achieve good grades. And yes, you're right, but that's exactly the problem. It's a problem that we educate people to only be motivated to do something to get good grades. It means the activity in itself doesn't mean nothing to them. They only do it for an outside verification or for an outside reward. So this topic is something that we covered in the psychology lecture, and it made me also understand the problem inside myself. We learned that people that do something, when they don't get a reward, they're intrinsically motivated. For example, if you go to sport, I love to play volleyball, and I go there because I love to do it. I love to play in my team. I love the game. I generally am in love with ball games. I love all the games that include a ball. Nobody needs to push me to go there 2 times a week because I just love it. I enjoy it so much that I do it regularly. This is intrinsic motivation. When we were children, very little children, and some of us have kept it until now, we studied things because we really enjoyed to know more about this topic. For example, I love biology, I love the subject of biology, and I really enjoyed studying it. I like to go to that class. But after some time that we're educated in the school system, we start to realize how important grades are. Grades are like the measurement of our performance. The focus is not anymore on enjoying the activity and learning more about this topic, but the focus is to get a good grade, because good grades are like a reward for us. Our parents might say you will get money if you get an A+ in this subject in biology, or I don't know, you will get accepted in this university. So there are a lot of things like rewards connected to grades. And this leads to the fact that we don't have anymore an intrinsic motivation. For me, this was shocking, the realization, because I know exactly in the first semester I was a bit scared of the exams in the psychology course. We talked a lot with other higher semester people about the first semester, and they told us, yes, you have this one subject and this is very nice because the professor asks a lot of questions from the last year, so it's very nice to study for it because you just study the questions of the last year and then you have a very good chance to pass it. And then there were other subjects where it was much harder because the professor invented new questions every year. My perception really shifted. I started to like the subjects where I knew that the exam would be easier, and I started to dislike the subjects and the professor teaching it where I knew that they would ask new questions and it's not so easy to prepare for them. And this is so crazy, only this fact makes some subjects more sympathetic and others not. And it had nothing to do with the content of the subjects. And this is so scary. When somebody would just ask me which parts of psychology you find more interesting, I would prefer the content from the professor that asks new questions, so that I don't like so much. But from the content, it's what really interests me. But I pushed this completely aside. It wasn't of any information for me, and this is really crazy because I focused only on the grades. I focused only on, I liked only the subjects where I could achieve a good grade easily, and this was the basis for me to evaluate if I like it or not. And this shouldn't be like this. People shouldn't go to university thinking, where can I go to get a good grade? It's just not about it. University should be studying something you like and something where you intrinsically motivated, where you really want to know something about it, like question the content that you learn and go deeper, and not just study everything by heart just to write an exam and then forget everything. Like, this is already a sign of a illness, like for me, like illness of the university system, that people only focus on grades and only focus how to achieve more, and the content is not so important. And it shouldn't be like this. And I think also we're not the people to blame. It's the system that educates us in this way. Like, we're trained to work for rewards from the outside. We're not trained to follow the path that we enjoy the most if there's no reward from our society. So the big problem is really the reward system with the grades and the assessment through grades that makes us walk blindly behind grades like trained animals in a circus. It's a shocking realization if you look at this from this perspective. I'm not sure how to solve this problem. It's a very huge problem that extrinsic motivation, in this case grades, like rewards that come from the outside, really undermine our intrinsic situation. You can transfer it again to a lot of topics, for example to sports or to solving mathematical puzzles. Like, I knew a lot of children in my class, it was back then in the primary school, that some boys, they really enjoyed to solve mathematical puzzles because they loved it, just to find a solution. And then they introduced like a small piece of paper in our class that the more puzzles you solve, the more stickers you get. Like, the stickers were here a reward. So people started to solve these puzzles only to get stickers. Maybe it was also a kind of competition with the others who has more stickers. We focused then on languages, like writing short stories, and we didn't receive stickers anymore for the mathematical puzzles. And then people stopped to do it. And it's very sad that, yes, this extrinsic motivation causes our intrinsic motivation to disappear, and we don't do things anymore where we don't get a reward from the outside, because the reward we get from the inside isn't enough anymore. Yes, I'm shocked. I will process it, and that's the video for today. See you tomorrow.